So I just finished editing this video, and for the optimal viewing experience, I'd suggest playing it in the background while you do your dishes or tidy up your room. Otherwise, you might be better off watching some other videos. Should I? Alright, let's just leave it like that. Hello, You. This sounds really different after watching You, the Netflix show. I'm really late to the party, but it's such a hilarious show. Well, at least Joe is, at least in the first season. And I just finished season 2 yesterday, and oh my god, I didn't expect love to be, if you watch the show, you know. I'm gonna watch the rest after filming this. Question of the year. Should I even bother reading The Hunger Games and the final 3 installments in the Harry Potter series? Because I'm just way past the age of the target audience for the 2 series. Maybe I should. I don't know. Anyways, I've got 30 to 40 books here, which you can't see, but you're gonna see in a second. Some of them are recommended by you, and I've been accumulating these books for the past 3 to 4 months. So I just want to show you the books that I got without going too much into them, because what's the point of telling you the plot of a book that I haven't even read yet? And they're gonna appear in my future videos anyways. And more importantly, I just want to say Happy New Year since I'm filming this in 2024. Okay, the first book is Pning. Is that how you read it?
Pning.
That's how it's supposed to be pronounced. And anyways, it's basically about a professor, a Russian immigrant in America, who has a broken tooth. Something like that. Wry, intelligent and moving, Pning reveals the absurd and affecting side of one many exile. And then got 2 books in the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition, Madame Bovary and The Custom of the Country. Aren't they stunning? And also this is translated by Lydia Davis, which I heard is the best translation out there. The City and Its Uncertain Walls by Murakami. Let me take the dust jacket off. This is how it looks like inside. It's split into 3 volumes, and each volume's got like this cute illustration. This is the first volume, and the second, and then the third. This is one of the 3 Japanese books that I bought in the last 2 or 3 months. The other 2 books are The Housekeeper and The Professor, and What You're Looking For is in the library. And both of them were recommended to me by you on Goodreads. And one of you said, I love your Gorgawa's books, but I don't know many people that have read them, so I definitely recommend her as an author. The Housekeeper and Professor is a great book I want to reread soon. So I suppose more your Gorgawa's books for me in the future. The books just arrived 10 days after filming, and this is what you're looking for in the library. And from what I can see in the table of contents, this book is divided into 5 chapters, with each chapter named after the name and age and occupation of the characters who are looking for stuff in the library, I suppose. This is The Housekeeper and Professor, and the Japanese title is slightly different. I mean, it's quite different. The literal meaning of this title is The Professor's Beloved Mathematical Expressions, something like that. So obviously there's going to be maths, and this professor can only remember new memories for 80 minutes. For some reason, his memories for maths won't fade. So no wonder he's a mathematician. And the main character is this professor's housekeeper, and I just read about 10 pages of this book, and I'm so excited because here it says 2.7 million people cried. So I'm ready to shed some tears. I also got 2 German books. The first one is Perfume, The Story of a Murderer, which was also recommended by one of you on Goodreads. And I saved your message as well, and you said, usually I'd recommend The Secret History, but I know you already read it and you loved it, which is just proof that you have great taste in books. Oh, thank you. My second recommendation is The Perfume by Patrick Suskind. And it's about a man born with an exceptional sense of smell, and to create the perfect scent, he goes down a murderous path. And the second one is Steppenwolf by Hermann Hesse, which was gifted to me by someone, so I have no idea what it's about. But the author is a Nobel Prize laureate, so I hope it's going to be great. And then Thinking Fast and Slow, another book by a Nobel Prize winner. you know, from time to time I do want to read some, you know, serious books like this. Let's move on. Yellow Wallpaper, etc. by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Funny story, I asked ChatGPT to recommend me some books that are similar to The Bell Jar, and the Yellow Wallpaper appeared like in a list of books, so I got this one. And here are 4 books by Kazuo Ishiguro. When We Were Orphans, The Unconsoled, Nocturnes, and The Buried Giant. I read 5 books by Ishiguro and I'm so excited to read the rest, so I can do like a comprehensive video where I rank Ishiguro books from my least favorite to most favorite. Middlemarch by George Eliot. Oh my god, 911 pages. And the last line of the book is, Fred and Mary, are you ever coming or may I eat your cake? I said I want to read this book because last year I finished Villette by Charlotte Bronte, which is about 540 pages long, and The Woman in White, which is about 700 pages. And I thought this one would be like 800 pages long.
Flashback.
Middlemarch. I will read it next year. I probably need an audiobook for this one. Oh, and this Penguin English Library Edition does look good when you stack the books. The next book is Clytemnestra, and it was recommended to me by one of you in the comments on my September wrap-up when I asked for books similar to Circe. Clytemnestra is a Sparta princess, and this book basically, well, chronicles her life and the events that lead to her marriage to Agamemnon.
Oh, how about Agamemnon?
Greek names are hard to read. By the way, it has really stunning end papers. Moving on, this book has a really stunning cover. Bonjour, tristesse? I hope I didn't butcher it. What does that even mean? Okay, so this word means a state of melancholy sadness, and I saw Anya Taylor-Joy reading this book, so that's why I bought this one. And then I got If I Had Your Face and If We Were Villains, which was also recommended to me by one of you on Goodreads. And then I got The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which I heard is quite existential, and I like the cover art. And last October, I also bought We Have Always Lived in a Castle and The Bloody Chamber, which I'm gonna save for this October. And oh my god, I'm supposed to read this book this Christmas, but it's buried under this deck of books. It's a Christmas memory, and the cover is so cute. And it's kind of like a collection of short stories. Alice in Wonderland. And it's got stunning end papers as well. And sprayed edges. I actually have never read it before. I only watched the 1951 film like many times when I was little. So I do want to get to this book this year. The next 2 books are not so exciting. They are finance books, well, Wall Street books. Liar's Poker and My Life as a Quant. They were recommended to me by a finance professor. The Song of Achilles in the US edition. I actually always prefer like the book covers in US editions in general, like the Ishiguro books that I just showed you earlier. The first time I read this book was 3 years ago on Kindle, and I always wanted to, you know, own like a physical book. So yeah, and I wanted to read the Iliad hopefully this year. It's time to review this book because it's based on the Iliad, but it's told from Achilles, you know, best friends or lovers perspective. The next 2 books are Tomorrow, and Lessons in Chemistry. Listen, I saw these 2 books in almost every bookstore that I walked into last year, so I just want to know like what's the deal. And also, Bill Gates recommended this book on his channel, so I'm reading it. And then the next 2 books are in the Penguin's Modern Classics edition. As I Walked Out One Midsummer Morning and The Unwomanly Face of War. Look, books in this edition, dare me to judge them by their covers. I forgot to mention for the book The Unwomanly Face of the War. The author is like the first person to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature for, you know, books that are based entirely on interviews. And to write that book, she interviewed more than 200 women who dreamed of becoming brides but became soldiers in 1941. So I'm sure it's a phenomenal book. The next book is The Joy Luck Club, and it's basically about 4 Chinese immigrant families in San Francisco who start a club called the Joy Luck Club where they play mahjong and feast on dim sum. It sounds quite festive, so I think I'm gonna read it this Chinese New Year. And the book cover looks like this, and these are like mahjong tiles, which I used to play when I was like really little. And at the back of the book, I don't know why, but they are like chess pieces. The next and 4th last book is The world is full of foolish men. Have you ever been in a group project where most people have no clue what to do even after the several hints that you gave them, and eventually you have to spoon feed them and tell them exactly what they should do? This book title perfectly describes how I felt in that kind of situation. Anyways, this book is a collection of the author's poems and their illustrations, for each poem. I think I might just finish this one at work during my break. Mexican Gothic. I got this recommendation from BookTube. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. And this is the first of her 7 autobiographical volumes, and it's more of an autobiographical fiction. And this book is about the author's experiences growing up in a racially segregated area somewhere in the US, and her relationship with her family and the trauma that she endures after being sexually assaulted as a child. Angelou was also a friend of James Baldwin, the author of Giovanni's Room, and he actually challenged her to write an autobiography that was also a piece of literature. And that led to the creation of this, series of 7 books. And James Baldwin wrote, "I know that not since the days of my childhood, when people in books were more real than the people one saw every day, have I found myself so moved." The last book is Heartstopper 5. Should I read this or should I watch you? Just put a condom on a cucumber. Maybe you should try a knot on a cucumber sometime. Are you flirting with me or something, Nicholas? Maybe I am, Charles. Oh my god. It's so sweet. Anyways, I just want to wrap this up. Thank you for watching, and I really need to just reorganize the books that are behind me and maybe get rid of some of them. And thank you for watching as always, and happy 2024. Wish you all the best. Here are all the books.